So let's do it. It's the grand final of Salt Mine 4 North America. One of these players will be crowned a new champion of the longest standing 1v1 tournament in Rocket League history. Who will write their name alongside greats like Firstkiller, Daniel, Khaled, Joriaz, and Nas? It's a pretty elite group, and only room for one more.
Oh, what a flick. It is actually too good. Off the crossbar, Diaz tries to stick with it. Now, Evoh, we already know, will go hunting for those demos. Didn't find tremendous success with those against Daniel. He found great success with everything else, though. As Diaz slow plays, realizes that Evoh doesn't really have an angle on it. Having to pop the ball up, but there's the demo. First one landed. Now Evoh's just got to set up. But Diaz actually spawned on the perfect side, but still couldn't get to it.
Yeah, Evoh just went for it here, showing great confidence in the opening minute of the grand final. Diaz probably didn't think that Evoh was just going to shoot this when he spawned near post like this. That's exactly what's happened. Early on, I am seeing good signs for both players, though. Diaz is playing a little bit more cautiously than the last time these two played, which it got him in trouble. He was very careless in their last matchup, getting counter-attacked on a ton, and Evoh is playing with confidence. He's not starting slow like he did against Daniel earlier on.
Yeah, nice backflip challenge as well. Evoh doesn't get control of the ball. Now Diaz off to the wall. Has he got time to set up? No, Evoh fakes the first challenge.
Oh, he
and
missed.
That's going to be wide.
It's a bad miss there by Diaz. He's not going to get immediately punished for it, but it was way wide. Now, when Diaz made his run through Salt Mine last year, nice save there, by the way, he was eliminated 4-0 in the semi-final. When it went wrong, it went really wrong. You cannot allow Evoh to get daylight between the two of them. Is that a miss? It is a miss. A bad miss by Evoh on an open net after Diaz overcommitted. Both players looking nervy in game one.
The thing is, we've already seen Evoh play a bit nervy and then figure it out.
Yeah.
For Diaz, this might just be need some momentum immediately and then just keep that going. Both players very capable of a 4-0 in a series like this when their play styles work. And I think it's wild, Johnny. For the grand final, we've got the two players with the most clear win conditions.
Yeah, the two opposite sides of the playstyle spectrum as well. The most defensively sound player, the most defensively minded player in Evoh, and the most aggressive player in Diaz, perhaps in this whole tournament. Great low 50. Evoh's up 2-0, and more impressively perhaps, he has held Diaz to 0 for over 2 minutes.
More than that, Diaz has had no time on the ball. Not a single moment where he's been able to go for what he wants, get these resets. It's just Evoh playing his game and making Diaz second guess everything. And is there a little bit more of that mental stack from that previous series than we originally thought?
Well, you know, this has always been the part of Evoh's game that's been criticized. It's the mental game. It's a fantastic save by Diaz. He's had to put 4 up already. Evoh doesn't have a save. He hasn't needed to make a save.
That's what so disrespectful.
He just completely soul reads Diaz infield dribble and scores a third goal. Massive play by Evoh in the first half of game one.
He just swiped the food off his plate. Evoh is just on another level right now. This is a Diaz that has swiped through 2 different players today, made it look easy. And against Evoh, he looks lost. Surely.
Oh, wow. Look at him spawning back on the ball. That is not just an unbelievable save, but the recovery is immediate. 4-0. Evoh with a huge game one. I mean, this is unbelievable. We've always seen potential in Evoh. We've always seen moments where he's challenged the best players in the world for extended periods of time, but there was always a question mark. Can he do it under pressure? Can he do it without tilting when everything goes wrong? And that is what's really been different about him in this event. He hasn't tilted, even when things are going badly for him, even when he's losing games against some of the best players in the event. He just keeps going. And that shows you can learn how to do better mentally. You can learn how to be a better player with mental resilience, just like you can learn how to be better mechanically, and Evoh has certainly done that.
Again, we just go all the way back to the way today started. if Evoh was going to revert to those old habits, those old demons that plagued him, it would have been after those first two games that he had today.
Oh.
And instead, he was better than ever from game 3 onwards. Now it's from game 1, and Evoh is doing everything right.
And we have to remind everybody that this is the, I think, hardest strength of schedule anyone has ever had in a Rocket League tournament ever. And I can say that confidently because the list of Evoh's opponents in the Salt Mine 4 North America main event are Daniel, Diaz, Daniel, Diaz, the 2 tournament favorites, and his path to winning this event is to beat them both twice. No one else. He's not had an easier matchup than the 2 players we thought were going to win this thing. But he's not there yet. Diaz on the board again. Solid shot from distance against the ceiling shadowing Evoh. Minute to work with for the Brazilian.
Yeah, that's the first time I think Diaz was able to get that mix going where you already saw Evoh trying to play for the air dribble, and Diaz just had that lock-in immediately. So again, Evoh has to avoid those positions.
Oh.
I mean, I'm not even surprised anymore. I was about 5 minutes ago, but Evoh's just automatic. Yeah. He's not going to get to that one, though. Diaz has got 47 seconds to work with.
Yeah, that's the issue, though. It's not the initial shot. It's getting back to the ball. It's getting a good clear because Diaz has all the momentum now. He's on a scoring spree in the final minute of the game.
And loads of time, and when you are the one losing that lead, it feels almost inevitable. You've got to try and sort yourself out nice and quickly. Evoh, back corner, good idea from him. Just reset the game. A little bit of a check back there to make sure he knew that Diaz wasn't going to come and demo him.
Wow.
He has just handed it, and Diaz reset. Where's it going to be? 4-4.
Oh,
he faked him.
What a first touch by Diaz. And all the last touches aren't too bad either, but that is ridiculous. To take a loose clear and turn it into an attack with 0 effort. 28 seconds to go. Diaz comes back from 4 down.
We were reading his obituary for this event, for this game at the very least. And instead, Diaz is right back there. The bump doesn't affect him. He's too strong, but he can't get to it.
He underestimated the recovery. Diaz, with balls of steel, just sat still while Evoh bumped him, but that bump from Diaz onto Evoh actually spun Evoh into a recovery. Evoh was in a better position after that bump than before it.
Diaz has actually got that exactly where he wants it, although the ball will be going in a bad direction for him, so he can't take that first time. Pops it up the top of Evoh.
It's open.
And Evoh, he's going to try and recover, but he's not going to be anywhere near this. 5 each.
What a play by Diaz. He had to make a really quick decision here. Do I go for the outplay? Do I just take the ball back and play for the boost? He went for the outplay. He got the outplay. And it is 5-all. The grand final so far is delivering.
Low challenge off that, and play to the back corner. Diaz has to scramble away, so the final play going to Evoh. Looks for Diaz's car, who leapfrogged him.
That is such a good save by Diaz. Evoh had the right to go all in there. No time left on the clock, and it's going to be Evoh again in overtime with the first play on the ball. It's a ground play this time. Takes it to the air for the bump, and Diaz again makes the save. Air dribble bump defense on point today for Diaz.
Yep, Daniel can attest to that. Got air dribble bumped a few times by Diaz. Tried to give him the receipt, and it was not coming. Evoh dunked it, it was wide.
Diaz had an open in there. It was a tough shot to get past Evoh, but Evoh must have seen game 1 flash before his eyes there. Now Diaz with a chance to make it 1 on the board for him. He came back from behind. He's got a flip reset. Decides not to hit the ball with it. Evoh holding his nerve. Has to say goodbye to his boost though, as Diaz continues the attack. That shot's good. It's in. And Diaz wins game 1.
From 4-0 down. Out of nowhere, Diaz roared back into this. And that is such a bitter pill to swallow. Evoh, you were saying that the mental was stronger. It's going to have to be.
Oh, yeah. He's going to need to bring every ounce of mental training that he's used in the past couple of years. You know, being an RLCS player for the past season, it would have definitely helped. But in 1v1, it's so much harder to do. You don't have teammates telling you it's all good. You don't have a coach telling you, well, maybe he does, but I don't think he's got a coach telling him the adjustments that need to be made, if any. it's all on him.
The problem is now is like Evoh had this aura about him in this event where it's just if you get to the lead, especially if it's a 2 or 3 goal lead, that's game. His start is just too good for you to beat him that many times, especially in the final minute. And Diaz just took that away in no time at all.
Both players playing really well. I mean, the first minute or so was pretty nervous from both of them, but they settled into this, and now they both look like they're playing really good Rocket League. So I'm happy for the neutral fans watching this. Hopefully you've all enjoyed Salt Mine 4 this year. Remember, we do have Europe next week as well. So we're not done. We've got one more week of Rocket League competition. We've also got Arm the Rebels in between. And I do have to mention thank you to Josh Rubino, NE Slacks, and Pudagy, sorry, for the Prime subs. Appreciate the support. Hope you've all been enjoying the stream today.
Up the wall, Evoh. And goes straight for it. Plays back down. Has he caught Diaz? No, not quite. Trying to play for the shot almost immediately. Now it's the other corner. And has Diaz gone too far forward for this? It wasn't the best first touch from Evoh, but Diaz had put far too much into this play.
Yeah, nice turn and control by Evoh to threaten the play in the back corner is pretty difficult to do at this level. Diaz underestimated just how quickly Evoh could turn. Wave dash recovery kickoff now doing work for Evoh. As he sets up another play, Diaz this time just dives straight in. Evoh absorbed most of that challenge, but Diaz still got a good piece of it. Gives away the ball though, and not sure he could have kept a hold of this. Lean back reset as Diaz fakes a challenge. Oh, what a demo. Evoh snipes in midair, and it's in for 2-0.
And that has almost seemed like the impossible task to actually find an air dribble bump, let alone an air dribble demo onto Diaz. But he finally got the setup play. Managed to find where Diaz's car is, and that is 2-0. So Evoh, yet again, he starts off well. Can he maintain this?
Yeah, that's the big question. Can he keep this going? Can he use this as a springboard to win a game? So he had the 4-goal lead last game and then lost anyway, so he can't get comfortable here. He has to keep the pressure on Diaz. More straight line dribbling from Evoh. I mean, a lot of what he's been doing in this tournament is not meta. He's not creating angles on his dribble. He's not challenging as much as other players at the top tier. He's doing a lot more reactive defense, but it's working for him. The kind of off meta and honestly, at times, just flawless gameplay has been very difficult for Daniel and Diaz to play against.
Diaz over to the wall, gets the reset. Evoh is actually not going to try and go early for this, instead waiting for the ball to come down. Diaz found the demo. Now can he turn this one around? Evoh's actually respawned far side, so he can just dive straight into the ball.
Yeah, Diaz would have known where Evoh spawned there because he didn't appear on his screen as he was making a play in the back corner.
Here we go.
Diaz off the back wall. Haven't seen a lot of chances to do this. It's the air dribble. No reset this time. Trying to dunk it on target, but Evoh's defense stands strong in the way of it again.
Yeah, once you don't have that reset, the threat kind of disappears. You can play where the ball is if you're the defender.
Oh, he goes again, though. Here he is.
Yeah, this one will... Oh, again,
no reset. Oh!
Well, it didn't work last time, so I'll just double up.
I mean, it's like you mentioned, he usually gets a reset on that second or third touch, but this time he manages to convince Evoh that he's going high, even without the flipper. So it's scary to go up against, is all we can say there. Evoh's faked out once again. And like we saw yesterday, that was one chink in his armor. He did fall for a lot of aerial mind games. Diaz with another one there.
Well, does get that 100. Diaz flicks over the top, spotted the challenge coming, and it's hit very well. Evoh has seen another lead disappear.
It's a great hit from Diaz. Low boost flick past Evoh. Had to hit the ball perfectly to get the goal. Evoh was recovering pretty quickly there. 2-2. Critical moments for Evoh. He's come back from 2 games down twice against Daniel, but against Diaz in his current form, that feels like an extremely difficult position to be in. Oh, what a demo. He did that in the nick of time right before Diaz scored his 3rd goal.
And that's a little bit more central on this one, so he can just force the save, go and get the boost. The one thing I do like actually about that play is if you are the defender saving it, you've got no angle to work with. You're almost always going to land in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's been the Evoh philosophy here. He's not been about, forcing the issue. He's just waiting for clear-cut chances. Messes up a wave dash there. Diaz tries to skim the ball on target. It doesn't make it. Yeah, lots of body shots almost for for Evoh in this matchup and in this tournament as a whole. A lot of awkward shots that look easier to save than they actually are.
Yeah, it's just the power that he gets more than anything else. On the wall, fakes the first time challenge. Diaz realizes it. Does hit the ceiling, so the ball's got away from him a little bit. Yes, he's not going to bother turning this time around, just keeps himself relevant. Evoh, played that very late. Wanted to almost see if he could bait Diaz in to say he's not actually going to play the ball. That's off the backboard. Diaz missed it first time. He's missed it second time.
Well, he had to jump early. Evoh is trying to demo him from behind. Now the counter-attack from Evoh lands. Diaz tried to hit the post with it, but he sticks it in his own bottom corner.
I was a little bit worried when I didn't see him pick up the boost, but he was happy to just play for the angle more than the boost. He knew he had it covered.
Yeah, I don't think that was savable. Looking at it again, I think Diaz did about all you could there. Just trying to get enough on it to hit the post. Might have been possible if one of those training pack shots or training pack saves where you go 20 times and eventually you find the exact angle that saves it.
Yeah, you do it once and you say, I can do that now. Oh,
well
got
played.
Him.
Yeah, Diaz, he's made a pattern of trying to fly over the top of Evoh and all his opponents today when he's trying to save air double bump. So what does Evoh do? Just flies a little bit more in front of the ball, flies a little bit higher. That makes it much harder for Diaz to get a save over the top of Evoh. He's going to need to switch up the air double bump defense if he wants to continue having success with it.
Again, this kickoff, when Evo's got a lead, is so good. Just gets there a little late, loses the kickoff a tiny amount, but he's already facing towards his own net with the wave dash. So usually can just play it back corner. Diaz goes for the flick early. Evoh has done enough. Will this lead be enough? 2 goals, 30 seconds.
With Evo's defense, I think a lot of you would correctly back him to close it out in this position, but he has to make one more big save. Here comes Diaz, air dribble bump, lands it, and this one was a bit telegraphed, but it didn't matter. It's what we've been talking about all day. Evoh dribbling in a straight line, not air dribble bumping. When Diaz does it, the air dribble bump is coming, but he executed it to perfection.
19 seconds, that is plenty. Diaz can take a little bit more of a liberty when it comes to this play. He went for the delayed kickoff off the diagonal as well. That can be very, very risky. Diaz, okay. Gonna play that once to the corner. Here we go. Here's the big play from Diaz. Will he send us to overtime? Or is it going to be enough for him? Nice shot comes through from Evoh. That's about as good as you can say from the quick chat. It was a phenomenal shot.
I mean, look at the angle change. He was air dribbling towards the far post boost, and then suddenly it's near post top corner. 1 second left in regulation. Will the ball go up in the air? Will they have a gentleman's agreement to ground this? Diaz not interested. He's got a chance. 0 seconds. He's hit the bar, and Evoh can keep this up. Game on.
Yeah, both players so low on boost. This is going to go to overtime.
Well, both players had a chance in that regulation. 1 second remaining. It was Diaz who chipped the ball up in the air. And now Evoh in OT with the kickoff goal to tie the series.
Well, he can't hold on to a lead, but he's got it from the kickoff this time around. That was an unbelievable game. You knew what Diaz was going to do, and there's just no way to stop it. Evoh has to come through a very clutch kickoff. But again, Johnny, I mean, I keep going back to this. Evoh, yes, he's got the win. He's dropped 3 leads.
Yeah, and you know, it's a crazy stat line here. 12 shots, 7 saves apiece. What's the difference? The 1 goal, the 1 kickoff goal is the difference in overtime. It was a perfectly evenly matched regulation between the 2 grand finalists. But yes, Diaz has been the comeback king in this matchup. He's never too far gone. He's kept it competitive. He hasn't let Evoh run up the score, let this one get too far out of control. But I don't know which one I'm more scared of. Am I more scared of Evoh losing leads, or am I more scared of Diaz, you know, falling behind consistently? Because that's been the story. Like Diaz falling behind consistently and then having to come back.
I would say, yeah, based on skill sets and play styles, it's Diaz going behind consistently, because I feel like Evoh losing these leads is the biggest story, because it shouldn't be happening, not with the way he plays.
He's been so good at protecting leads, so I'm more worried about Diaz consistently falling behind. I think He needs to try and play from 0-0 with a little bit more urgency. He needs to really put the pressure on Evoh, put him in a losing position, because Evoh's brilliant from a tie game, brilliant from a winning position. He's looked a little bit more nervous when he's losing, with a little bit more panicky when he's losing, which is understandable. Oh, what a save. Look where that's ended up as well. Diaz doesn't have a follow-up shot on target.
Yeah, Evoh's saves seem almost always to be aimed towards a crossbar or a post. Here's Diaz. Is he just going to try and guide it? He's got the 50. Well, the mixer is back up.
Muscles it in. He knew he had a massive boost advantage here. So even if Diaz, does run into any resistance, he could just keep boosting. He could just keep adding more and more force behind the ball. Evoh unable to resist.
Evoh's going to play his back corner. Diaz, yeah, he's got loads of boosts, so he might be very tempted to stick around with this. So a lot of these corner plays not necessarily work. Are we going to add another one to the pile? Diaz gets himself back. The angle's opened up. It's that corner again.
What a shot.
Evoh is automatic with that shot.
I mean, look at the placement. Look at just the small run-up needed there. And then he just deletes the ball bottom left corner. It's simple from Evoh, but it's so effective. If you guys are watching this thinking, well, kind of hard stuck at whatever rank you're at, need to learn how to double reset to rank up. No, you don't. You just need to do the simple stuff a little bit better and you'll be fine.
I'm telling you, man, the hook shot is still the best thing you can do at low ranks. You set up that angle. We've already seen Evoh put it into the corner. Evoh's got the other option. You can just fake it and play behind the goalkeeper for the other side.
Yeah.
Like, everyone can do that play.
Yeah, it's so effective, and it's almost unsavable. You never hear people complaining about it because it's not a bump or a demo. So the fact that it's as unsavable isn't the problem. That's what's funny when I hear people complaining about air double bumps. You're saying it's not fun because it's unsavable. Well, don't hear you complaining about a double reset being unsavable. That's a nice glancing blow in the ball there by Evoh. Key touch. It would have been a goal for Diaz if he didn't get that. Diaz, standard air dribble. Late reset, too late. As Evoh closed the distance.
Yeah, one of the rare occasions actually that Diaz didn't immediately react when somebody's tried to challenge him. He seemed pretty locked in on going for what he was going for. This time around, he's seen Evoh very close, chooses to take the early shot. Has stole the 100, backflip challenge.
Oh, the demo's on here for Diaz. He nearly got it. That was close. Evoh correctly read that he could escape that position, and now he bumps Diaz up into the air. Diaz flies down onto the corner boost. Really good defense of that back corner boost. And now he switches sides, looking for the air dribble angle. He gets it with a ton of momentum. So much boost being saved on this attack. Mind game is good. Diaz ties the game.
Diaz just sat back and watched his good work go in. Evoh's going to hit him with a nice shot. Diaz, well, he knows it because his shot was about 2 seconds ago.
This is what's terrifying about that shot, is that we've seen the wave dash shot shoot low underneath pre-jumps, and now Evoh doesn't pre-jump, hoping that it is just the wave dash shot, and it's a fake. It just bounces in. So you can't cover both. You have to just guess almost. You have to get a read on what your opponent is doing based on their angle of attack, and with how quickly Diaz approached him there, it was impossible to tell.
Yeah, Evoh's trying to just come in from the off angles. Still 2 each. 3 minutes left in this game. Evoh's got a decent angle to work with, actually. Diaz jumps so early.
Shot.
And because of that, Evoh could just find that corner again.
Yeah, the whole time, Evoh's faking that he's going to cross the goal. Notice that he's just a little bit to the left of the ball, little bit to the left of the ball. Suddenly he switches sides and puts the ball top left from that right end. So deceptive. Just a tiny thing like that will not have gone unnoticed for Diaz. He'll be keeping an eye on the micro movements that Evoh's making. Kickoff continuing to be a real problem for Diaz in this matchup. Evoh makes it 4-2. Perfect angle on the approach again. Undefendable shot.
Yeah, that setup touch. That's just brilliant. Because now Diaz is in no match. There's no good option for you right there. You dive in, Evoh just takes the low challenge. You stay still? Well, okay, this one's going to go flying behind you. We've seen what Evoh can do with a dribble that's going straight down the middle. That's against all the rules. Now we're seeing what Evoh can do when he plays how you're almost supposed to, quote unquote, and add the angle in.
So Diaz shooting there because he doesn't want Evoh to get into a rhythm of pre-jumping every single attack. And he does score off the back of this as well. So this is a massive win for for Diaz, sorry. One, because he's showed Evoh a shot. That'll make Evoh a lot more hesitant about pre-jumping in the future. And 2, he gets a goal off of this. A play that he probably didn't expect to lead to a goal this quickly.
Back down to 1. Evoh, good kickoff recovery. Picks up the 100 as well. Set up that angle again, and this is what happens. Diaz tried to dive on in. Evoh realizes he hasn't got enough time to take the shot. Try to stick with, but Diaz up to the air. Try to find the car.
Oh, wow.
But this time, Evoh gave himself loads of angle to work with, and he was the stronger car of the 2.
He just went straight through him. Evoh saved his dodge into the last second and used it to give himself enough momentum for the save. That is a crazy air dribble bump save. So to even know that that was possible there. And now Evoh stealing Diaz boost away. Keeping him completely stuck in the mud while he runs rings around him. Nearly another goal there. Great half flip save and a post pinch clear for Diaz, but Evoh's still in control of this possession.
I think on that last play as well, that's pretty much the first time we've seen a Diaz air dribble bump not result in a goal. As he's now been taken out. The bounce is horrible though for Evoh, so... Oh, the respawn's even worse.
Yeah, great
we're running away.
Really intelligent spawn there from Diaz, right in front of the ball, collects the play. This time trying an air dribble dunk. Diaz is still getting pre-jumped a ton of the time. He needs more space, and he's looking for it off his own back wall as usual. It's his go-to when he needs to create separation between him and his opponent. Look at Evoh's shadowing. As soon as he makes Diaz think he's going to challenge, and then he just full shadows and collects the ball at the other end of the pitch.
Yeah, these two players know each other so well. They are really playing at their best. Scoreline shows it. Diaz still needs 1. It might be about to be 2. Doesn't go for the first time shot. Wanted the challenge. Diaz added enough angle to just keep that one away from his net, but he's running so low on boost. First time shot. Diaz didn't jump. He has jumped this time. He got it right, and then he got it so wrong.
Wow, Diaz. He held his nerve, but then he panicked. He thought that Evoh would be throwing himself at the rebound there. Evoh just backed off. Collects the second goal advantage. And now 33 seconds to go.
Now surely, ref, Evoh can't lose this 2-goal lead.
It's not looking too good for him here. This is a good play for Diaz. Oh, what a save though. Evoh again pulls out such a brilliant save from an awkward position. And this will be his game as well. I think, nearly an own goal by Diaz. It will be in his net now. 3-goal advantage. Diaz calls next.
Yeah, that's just the tilting last goal. I don't think he calls next unless that goes in, but the last 2 goals go in the way that they did. I mean, just what happened? They were both playing so composed. And just going into that goal for 5-3, it's just shocking because he held his nerve. He made the right decision. Evoh's shot is entirely there to bait the jump.
Yeah, I mean, Evoh's been going enough, though. Like, the one thing that I like really a lot today from Evoh's play, more than anything else, is that he is putting pressure on his opponents. You know, when you're playing this style where you want to rack up a ton of saves, like Evoh did in this game, 8 saves to his name, you do need to challenge enough to keep your opponent guessing. You need to put yourself close to the ball, almost awkwardly close to the ball at times, just to make your opponent think that you might challenge. And that's what Evoh's done really well in this last game. And it ended up costing Diaz the game. Evoh's pressure, the amount of times that he did just challenge, that he did, venture into no man's land, it culminated in Diaz panicking when he didn't have to. Now, Evoh is halfway there. He's 2 games away from winning Salt Mine 4 North America and also winning with the hardest strength of schedule we've ever seen in Rocket League history. And I don't just mean 1v1. I mean in general. There's no way that a team has won a tournament or a player's won a tournament while beating both of the projected finalists twice and no one else. I just can't remember that ever happening. But Evoh's on the track to doing just that.
It's the perfect start. Straight from the kickoff, like we saw from an overtime earlier on. And I think there's something we need to highlight here, Johnny. This kickoff belongs to Evoh at the moment, and it's not even close.
He's letting Diaz get the first touch. It's really interesting because he's wave dashing. He's saving his jump to wave dash, but he's not jumping into the ball quickly. He's not trying to hit the ball into Diaz. He's letting Diaz hit the ball into him, and then he's just trusting himself to be able to absorb that hit and then win the race to the ball with a wave dash. So Diaz has to try and mix things up here. He can't continue to just barrel face first into the ball. Try and get it past Evoh, because Evoh's doing too good of a job of absorbing him. I think the push kickoff is just, it's got to stop. That time Diaz hooked it, which is, I think, a smart move. But his push kickoff is just getting countered way too much. I don't want to see much more of that from Diaz if he's going to win this series.
I mean, it's great to sort of get free wins against people that don't know how to counter it, but at this level, people are looking for this sort of stuff. You're going to go to the same thing over and over again. It's another incredible save from Evoh. He's too good at this. You know when somebody's just like too well behaved all the time and you're just not impressed anymore? Like, Evoh just does this all the time.
It's a good fake challenge there by Evoh. Wins himself a free possession. And of course, he does just start to dribble it pretty much in a straight line at Diaz, letting Diaz make the first move. Diaz gets a little bit of ball control. Does very well to make something out of this. You'll notice Evoh the whole time is just making it awkward for Diaz, who now does have an open net with the bump, and he takes it. He's got 2-1. It's really been difficult for Diaz to create separation. We're not seeing as many, free aerial plays because Evoh's staying on him. He's not giving him space.
I would say Evoh during that sequence was very, very patient. Maybe more patient than we have seen. Tried to almost buy in from, oh my
shot.
The fact that he managed to delay that to the point where Diaz just stopped on the backboard. I mean, once that's happened, Diaz is out of this play. Evoh's just going to put it on target.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Evoh's position there. The back wall, really awkward position if you're trying to make saves on these type of shots these days, because we talked about earlier the range of options that players have to shoot high or low, depending on how they're feeling. And if you're committed to a wall position, it's quite hard to make an adjustment when it comes to height. And Diaz has gotten away with one there, left his net open. Luckily for him, Evoh missed the awkward wall shot. So now it's Evoh. I've done it as well.
Hey, let's go.
Here comes Evoh.
I feel better now.
I've been thinking about it all day since you've done it. Shokin said Evoh in the Daniel Evoh match. Now I've said it in the Diaz Evoh match.
Totally meant it as well.
Evoh reincarnated is not a bad thing to be in Rocket League.
Certainly not. I mean, when you've got the entire Aussies naming a move after you, the double taps, then you know you've done something right, and Evoh certainly knows he's done this right. He's just sticking with it the entire time.
It's looking a lot like the last time these two played. Not trying to put fear in the Diaz fans' minds, but last game, Evoh had way more saves than Diaz. Diaz wasn't at home for a lot of Evoh's goals. He was either demoed or losing a kickoff like he is here. And Evoh has 5 saves to 0 in this game. He's putting up much more resistance as, again, Diaz tries to push the ball through him and Evoh just absorbs it. He just doesn't let him do it. And, you might be thinking, well, what can he do against this? What is the counter? But there's lots of different things he could be trying. He could be trying to delay more kickoffs. He could be faking more kickoffs. He could be half flipping on kickoffs. Or he could just be hitting it from a different angle instead of going back to his bread and butter as often as he is.
We saw Diaz doing fake kickoffs in a previous round. They've just disappeared. Oh, okay, that almost worked. Still might have an opportunity. Cuts around the ball. Evoh's jump in, trying to find a way. He knows that there's a chance that he's got there just in time. I mean, he's got to play that because Diaz could have tried to go for the air dribble bump. So Evoh just waited as long as he could. Oh, he's got no chance.
He's done well. He's done very well there to keep his composure as the pressure got on to a bit too high for Evoh to hold on to. But that was well done by Diaz, and potentially a must-win game. It's weird to say that with Diaz on the pitch, but it feels like he's got to win this if he's going to have a chance to win in the whole final.
I almost feel like the best of 7 is really good for Evoh's style, because once he gets that third, you're as the opponent, you're just like, how is this getting so far against me? But this isn't the Evoh that we sort of hyped up as like defensive all the time, looking to try and get saves. This is so active across the field.
Well, he's got saves when he lets Diaz come at him in offense, but he's still challenging enough. I'm okay with it as a playstyle because he's not just running away to his goal every time. He's not going for boosts in his net constantly. He is doing that a lot, but he's keeping Diaz guessing. Diaz doesn't know what's going on in this matchup. That's a fantastic save by Diaz, but he's in a world of trouble. Huge boost advantage for Evoh, low 50, and it's going to be 6-3. Evoh is just on a different level today.
Diaz realized he's just got to try and crunch a challenge. Recovery was always going to go Evo's way. He went low.
He's got to fix the kickoff, though. Here, Diaz has to go left. If he goes right, he's just going to lose another kickoff, though.
I think he's done better on these ones previously.
Okay,
there we go.
Well, actually, Evoh switches, trying to anticipate him. And Diaz scores to the right. This is bizarre, because this is the complete opposite of what we've been seeing all day. But Diaz gets a goal because Evoh switched his kickoff. That is crazy. Evoh trying to stay one step ahead, by the way. He's trying to switch it in anticipation, and Diaz just continues the same strategy.
Well, he's going to push it off that wall.
Wild.
Evo's going to stick around. Oh, and Diaz missed the boost. So yeah, he now definitely has to go all the way back. No real options for a turn challenge. And Diaz might consider the opportunity, and well, Evoh was aware of it and not having any of it.
Still time for Diaz, plenty of it. That's a tough shot from distance. Oh, he hits the post with the rebound. He was so close to putting in an absolute banger. 24 boost off the wall, double tap attempt, but Evoh makes it look easy on the counter. 7-4. Diaz is in real trouble, Shogun. Kickoffs have not been going well overall. He scored recently off the last one, but overall, he has been losing a lot more.
It's not even necessary that that one actually works. He's got the 100. Surely he's got to score.
Well played.
Finally, the kickoff that he was dreaming of, and it's actually now 2 kickoff goals that he's got.
Yeah.
One from a switch up from Evoh, one from it going his way.
Yeah, Evo's got to be careful here. Diaz is so mechanically perfect with his kickoff. Evoh has to be perfect as well. That's why Diaz is such a demon to go up against with kickoffs. If you start miss it in the middle of the ball,
oh my goodness,
Diaz will get goals. And Evoh has fallen apart at the end of this game when it comes to kickoffs. I mean, he's not absorbing Diaz anymore. He's not getting opposite him. Diaz goes past him easily.
Evo's got to do something completely different here. Just find something. There you go. That's massive. But the recovery's really bad.
Oh, what a save.
So Diaz can get there in time.
That was a huge save from Diaz. Pre-flipping to take the ball away. Now the full pitch air dribble commences. Reset is secured. No shot on target, though. Evoh looking to get back into the play here. Does so with the demo.
Evo's trying to open up some angles. That is kind of hopeful there from Diaz, but he's going to have a second chance at this. That's awkward. Diaz jumps.
Oh, wow.
And Diaz has had a couple of these right now where he's jumping and making contact, but the ball's not going anywhere.
He's just panicking. I mean, there's no need to do this. He's not got any reason to panic and center this. Evo's not going for it. Evo's in the area, kind of just chilling. But the fact that Evoh is close to him is making Diaz get uncomfortable, and he's just rushing his touches. He should be able to score off this. What a turnaround he's had from the kickoffs. The kickoffs are saving him right now, Diaz. At the start of the game, it was all Evoh. Now it's all Diaz. 1 goal game.
It can't happen again.
It's got to be Evoh favored here, surely, with any kickoff adjustment.
You'd think so, but it's been the story of this entire time. Diaz has got a great kickoff, but getting that up the wall is going to be very, very difficult. He's still going to give it a go. Reset. Evoh, wait. Is he waiting too long?
Oh, my word.
8-8.
He's just perfect off the wall when he needed to be. Insanely clutched by Diaz. Air dribbling it to the edge of the box and then towards the top corner with the flip reset. 7 seconds to go. Can Evoh clutch up with a kickoff like he did earlier in the series?
Well, Diaz has had the better of these, but this is right down the middle. This is where that push kickoff can work so well. Got angle.
Oh my.
Is he going to go for the win? Oh, backflip!
Oh!
And Diaz scores. 2 seconds left, and Evoh needs the kickoff of his life.
What a flick by Diaz. Used all his boost to get the setup. And I'm not sure if Evoh would have saved this even without a backflip. The flick was that good. 2 seconds left. Evoh needs the ball in the air.
What lead is it takes to be safe?
He's done it.
That one's bounced up.
Oh!
He's missed the ball. Went for it. Went for the everything. And Diaz evens the series.
What on earth are we witnessing here? 2-2 in the grand final. We've not had a game 7 all tournament.
Look at those shot amounts, by the way.
You've got 19 shots to 9. I mean, the playstyle difference is plain to see. Diaz the aggressor, Evoh the defender, the counter puncher. Overall, it's been an Evoh favored series. I feel like Diaz might be a bit lucky to be in a 2-2 scenario here. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Evoh has been, for the most part, I'd say for like 80% of the series, the more composed player. But Diaz has been clutching in this one. That was a insanely impressive equalizer. And he brought back the kickoffs. He's really been struggling but he found a way to get Evoh uncomfortable. I think Evoh honestly like started messing up his kickoffs mechanically though. I was taking a look at his POV on the kickoffs at the end of the game, and it didn't look like he was hitting the middle of the ball anywhere near as consistently as he was earlier in the game, so we'll have to keep an eye on that.
There's just something about like 1 minute left where Diaz gets better and Evoh suddenly just starts making mistakes that we don't see in the other 4 minutes.
Evoh has, for the most part, been just out the gate, on point, locked in. He's had better starts of most of the games in this series. But you're right, he is throwing away leads a little bit. It's not entirely been his fault. A lot of it has been Diaz just playing really well and actually forcing comebacks, but Evoh has had mistakes as well. And now we start off game 5 with another kickoff in Evoh's back corner. Now, if he's trying to absorb Diaz kickoff and keep the ball in the center, he's not done so there. It's gone really badly for him, and Diaz is all over him early on in game 5 and scoring the first goal.
Yeah, I'd be very worried here if I'm Evoh, because this seems to be where Diaz really picks up his level. We had it twice already. Once he hits that second half of a series, he's just got some reads. He makes these little adjustments to his play style, and it really starts to click for him. Are we going to get that yet again in the grand finals?
Yeah, he needs to level up here. Evoh with the kickoff game. Oh, that's a huge challenge. What a challenge by Evoh. Diaz had no idea that one was coming, and this is what we were talking about earlier. Evoh's been aggressive enough. Look at that, just diving in on the play in the back corner. And that time, Diaz had no clue.
I think what's even better about that is you can almost guarantee from what we've seen already, that one goal is probably going to give him one more goal later on from Evoh.
Yeah.
Because of just how Diaz has reacted to those backboard bounces. Oh my, what
wow.
a read.
Well, these guys are producing some great plays late in the series. We're well into the business end now. Diaz with a lean back reset, then the dunk as well. And he did that after seeing the pre-jump come his way. As soon as Evoh jumped, Diaz just pulled away. That's another kickoff hard into the Evoh back corner. I don't believe this is what he's trying to do. Like, sometimes you do have kickoff strats that aim to get the ball in your back corner so you can grab boosts and start to pressure the play, but I don't think that's what Evoh's going for at all here. Diaz in full control again. And of course he's putting it top shelf. It's his bread and butter. 3-1.
I got to see that one the entire way from Evoh's POV, and yeah, it does look hopeless.
It just looks like that meme where who's the guy looking up at the sky, terrified. I can't remember what show that came from. Somebody in chat remind me.
Oh, it's going to do my head in. It really is. So yeah, Evoh is jumping so early and trying to like roll with the ball mid-air on some of these challenges, and it's not working.
It isn't. I mean, see, he's on the kickoffs earlier on, he was doing a really good job of nullifying Diaz's touch. He was letting Diaz hit the ball into him and then kind of like just a low 50 absorbing it. And it's not been working. Diaz has found a way to go through him here. That could be down to many reasons. This time he has done a better job absorbing it. It still goes pretty even though. But it might just be mechanical. Like, it might be inconsistency starting to creep into Evoh's game. He has been playing a lot of high-level, intense 1v1s. Not quite as much as Diaz, mind you. He had to go one round longer today. But it could also just be, adjustments from Diaz. He might have been realizing that he was a bit too consistent on his approach, and now he needs to come from different angles to keep Evoh guessing. He certainly has kept Evoh guessing with the second half of last game, first half of this one.
It's the first time as well that it feels like Diaz has controlled the opening of one of these games. Evoh, one chasing up when he lands on it. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
What a shot. Ground double by Evoh after seeing the challenge coming in. Unbelievable. Evoh not done, not out of this. Once again, he is showing a new level of mental capability that we didn't know he had in him until recently. That's a great burst of speed there from Evoh. Winning the back corner boost race. Diaz, forever afraid of Evoh diving. The earlier challenges, like you mentioned, I've got Diaz respecting the potential of challenges at all times.
Yeah, it's almost too, well, it is too much. Oh, wow. All right, Diaz, that is some reaction speed to get to that one.
I don't know how Diaz reacted to that play. It looked like the fake flick, and suddenly Evoh rips it up towards him. crazy mechanical ability, but like you said, reaction time on point for Diaz. Now he dribbles the ball into the back corner. Here's Evoh up in the air. Once again, that sound cue paying dividends for Diaz. Air dribbles from distance, this time from the ground. Oh, he's easily over the top of Evoh. Doubles in automatically to go up 5-2.
Yeah, he got caught, but he's still air rolling by the time he was hit, so his car wasn't quite as affected. And even then, he was already facing, it was like the smallest of all adjustments just to make sure that this one was on target. The best game from Diaz so far.
Oh, there it is.
Evoh.
There it is.
That's what he's been after. He's so late. I think he's getting later and later on this kickoff.
Well, you know, when he does this, if you're going to let your opponent hit the ball before you, you need to be directly opposite them if you're going to absorb their hit. If you're slightly misaligned, it's going to go past you. If you hit it back into them, they're going to go past you. You've got to let a gap open up and then take it away from them like Evoh did there. Very hard to do. The fact that he's able to do that with any semblance of consistency at this level is insane. So, good to see that he's got that back. Oh my goodness, how is Diaz alive?
Hey,
saved it.
Number 3.
Diaz, I almost said. Never knew this was a thing until today, actually. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say Evoh in a Diaz or Daniel versus Evoh match. But I can't, all I'm thinking about is Evoh. We're sitting here casting Diaz, Evoh. I'm just thinking about Evoh.
We've sort of ruined each other on this one.
There's some good goals, honestly. Like, the montage playing in my head is a good one.
Hey, man, I mean, I'll be happy to see it. Oh,
Nostalgic.
that's so early from Evoh. Yeah, that's not going to work.
Yeah, it wasn't very Evoh of him there. As, yeah, he thought Diaz was going to go a lot higher with his off-the-wall touch. And he was trying to jump up to the ceiling and then use that as a springboard to challenge. But Diaz has just gone straight to the goal. He didn't hit it up in the air at all. Well, at least not as high as Evoh is expected. He's in a bit of trouble here. Another big swing in the matchup, which continues to deliver. That's a great save. Evoh threatening on the counter-attack as always.
Very early jump, trying to find a low challenge against Diaz.
He's got a flick from that position. I think he was trying to do it there, but the ball didn't sit properly in his car. Oh, well done by Diaz again. Really looking dangerous with the air dribbles. It's a very Diaz-esque game. If last game was an Evoh-esque game that he somehow lost, that's an open-ended. So now this is a very Diaz-esque game. Everything's going his way. Lots of big aerial plays, lots of possession. Evoh needs to get him out of this rhythm.
Yeah, you need to do something here because Diaz completely controlled the final minute and he said next.
Yeah, one more outplay was all it took, but what a change a couple of minutes will make. It was all Evoh at the start of game 4. He looked like he was running away with it. Diaz produced yet another comeback, clutched up, and now he's got all the momentum in the grand final. Double tournament point for Diaz. Will he be the first South American Salt Mine champion? We've had Salt Mine champions from NA, EU, and MENA. Never South America.
I mean, it feels like it's about time. You know, South America. And the big win was the EWC a couple of years ago.
Was it Gamers 8?
Gamers 8. Okay,
yeah,
I'm mixing my names up for things. I mean, it's been a while, and they've come close. Can Diaz finally get the region across the line?
Yeah, it feels like it's been coming for Diaz. This entire offseason, he has been the player to beat in North America 1v1. Multiple ATR Cup wins. Speaking of which, we've got ATR Cup season finale next week, so don't miss that. It's going to be Crew Battle 2s. Live viewers, you better all be signing up if you want to see more ATRs into 2025. That's a metric we really care about right now. We managed to 4x the signups for Salt Mine 4 compared to Salt Mine 3, so thank you all for helping make that possible. Hopefully that will give us a chance to continue building on this tournament's history. Today, history will be made. Evoh is on his last legs. Are they firm beneath him? Or is Diaz about to take this in 6?
Starter's going to be very up for this, but Evoh's immediately run away for the 100 boost. Did not like the play that he was seeing. Goes for the first time counter-attack. Is that on target? Yes, it is.
Okay, just. He did well with the placement there. And honestly, the first aerial play for Diaz leaves a lot to be desired. That was not the confident aerial play he would have been hoping for in a championship winning match, tournament winning game, especially fresh off a game 5 where he had everything he wanted.
I just love comparing how these two players are playing right now versus how they were playing in game 1. The amount of adjustments they've both made just to play against each other.
Oh, what a shot.
Oh, that's so early.
What a shot by Evoh. Diaz did not think there was a chance of a shot happening here, but he just perfectly reads the back corner wall bounce and air rolls immaculately to set up the goal.
So the best start possible for Evoh, 2-0 up. Promise, we've been here before. That's not enough. He's got to keep going. Trying to bank on some earlier plays. It's going to be number 3. It should be. Yeah, okay, there's no way he's missing that.
Are we seriously going to game 7? This is still scripted. We've not had a game 7 all week. We had 10 series in the group stage, no game 7s. 2 semi-finals, still no game 7s. The 13th series of the entire main event, the last series of the main event, could be headed to game 7. Diaz is looking nervous. It's 4-0. Where's he going? Evoh, 4-0 inside 1 minute. Actually, just outside 1 minute, but almost inside 1 minute.
Yeah, it's not just something that us casters like to talk about. It's easy to play when the title feels quite far away. When it's right in front of you, staring at you in the face. Suddenly, it becomes a lot more real, and you start second-guessing stuff. Diaz is second-guessing. Evoh is playing like somebody that knows, yeah, I gotta go and win right now. Nothing else matters. I'll think about the title later. Oh, that might be a big mistake. He's gonna get there.
What a save by Evoh. He's gonna need more where they came from, given how difficult it's been for him to close out games and close out leads like you mentioned. Oh, the crossbar comes to the rescue of Diaz there. That was almost 5. Evoh holding Diaz to 0 here. And that bump is ill-advised. Evoh is running away for that 5-goal lead right now and gets it with ease. This is getting a little bit too far when it comes to leads. If Diaz is going to come back, it needs to start now.
I mean, it's the worst part is this tournament point. It feels different. At what point would you ever even consider next? Would you want to break the momentum? Would you want at least one play to go your way before you would go for it? Diaz is in a horrible spot. But the best thing he's got going for him is he has fought back in these games, but not from this deficit. But also not far off.
Now Diaz in control. That's some confident defending out of Evoh. Look how quickly he got up to deny the air dribble bump. It will be Diaz again with an opportunity. He kills the bounce immediately. I'm not sure he meant to do that. The mind game was a decent idea with the follow-up. Now he gets his aerial play. Oh, no, he doesn't. Look at the speed from Evoh. Look at the chain dashes down the line. Diaz lost. His offense has ground to a halt in Game 6.
I need to point out, by the way, North America has never had a grand final go to 7 in Salt 9. We are looking at 4 O's and 4 1s.
Yeah, thanks Firstkiller and Daniel for that. Really good content.
This time, we're getting what we deserve. We deserve a Game 7. But can Diaz just fight for this Game 6? Make something of it.
Yeah, was it all Game 7s in European history, I think?
I know Season 2 and Season 3 definitely were.
Well, yeah, Season 1, they were both Game 7s. Khaled Ixo in EU and then Khaled Flakes in the grand final. What a save by Evoh, by the way. Joria's Khaled was a Game 7 in last season. I think Nas Naupo was Game 7 or 6, perhaps.
That was Game 7. I'm looking at it right now.
Yes, EU's had Game
with
7
one goal
every
between
time.
them, by the way, in that final game.
Well, now NA is well on their way to getting their first Game 7 because Diaz can't hit water if he fell out of a boat. That's the biggest open net miss we've seen all day. And you have never been more right about the last game being the hardest to win.
There's a reason why, especially when we're in tight series in the RLCS, Neo Tokyo often feels like a formality in that Game 6 where, all right, we're going to see the other team win it, and then we're going to get to the Champions Field.
Well, Diaz has tried everything. He's tried mind games, he's tried resetting over the top of him, he's tried bumping him, and Evoh saved everything. Diaz just calls next. He saw the time remaining, and he said, I've had enough. We're going to Game 7, ladies and gentlemen. One game to decide, if it'll be North America or South America, who emerge victorious in Salt Mine 4, Diaz or Evoh. Only one of them could become a champion.
I mean, that was just utterly brutal. The whole way through. We started the game off, Evoh started winning, and it just was that the whole way through. The question is, we've just seen what Championship Point does to Diaz. What does Championship Point do to Evoh?
True. I'm thinking not as much, and it's Evoh favored again. I reckon. I think this is Evoh favored. His style of play is going to be easier to execute under that kind of pressure because he's keeping it simple. Diaz is the one who's going for extremely precise touches, elaborate attacks that need every single input to be perfect. Evoh, he's playing a very, very simple style, and it's worked out so well. It's simple but effective, and I don't see Game 7 having too much impact on it.
I'm almost going to flip around what I said earlier on, where this play style means that whoever's peaking will eventually beat you. But suddenly, this play style's the best thing possible. Because now Diaz, it's up to him. What can he bring to the table? He brings out a monstrous way to start the game.
Well, that's a pretty good shot to put all your nerves to bed. He couldn't find the back of the net in Game 6. He only took 6 seconds in Game 7 to find it.
Just a reminder of who you are up against, Evoh. As if you needed it. Now he's being collided into. He's missed the ball. He's out of boost. Diaz shoots. Diaz scores.
There is absolutely no way I've cursed this man. I cannot believe it. I mean, it was a tough position. He got bumped into a weird position. He had to maintain his momentum with the wave dash, then react quickly to an awkward bounce. But he had to make contact there to hit the ball in any which way. Ball goes back corner again. It's Diaz on the outside edge of it. Great demo. Evoh tracking him perfectly, and now here comes the counter-attack straight down the middle. Diaz spawns near post. Nothing he can do about that. Evoh's on the board already.
We said it earlier. If you want something to work, this is the play. Set up the angle, and it worked for Khaled when we got started so many years ago. It works today. Get the hook shot going.
Just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Once again, from Evoh. I think both nerves are pretty settled now. Who can clutch it up? Oh, Diaz slots it. It dropped down just in time. He had the outplay. It was kind of a similar position to last time, but on opposite sides. This time Diaz was the one advancing into the back corner, and he did get the ball passed safely.
Brilliant start here for Diaz. Kickoff's pretty nice as well. He's going to have a bit of time. Chooses not to take that to the air. Instead, he wants that 100 boost. Yeah,
testing shot there. He wants to try and shut down any ideas of pre-jumps. That's a huge 50-50, 4-1. Diaz crushes him in the turn.
And how often you've seen Diaz not only go for those, but win those as well as he has. That's usually a perfect spot for Evoh to play from. Evoh, again, tried that slow kickoff, but on the diagonal, that's so difficult to pull off. And Diaz is going to play this back corner.
Yeah, he wants to try and air dribble off his back wall, but he's being chased down. He can't air dribble off the back wall right now. Evoh's all over him. Evoh did miss the boost steal though, so he's going to need to bail out of this aggressive position. Just the threat of the turn at mid forced Diaz to make a move. It was a good move though. At least for a moment, it made Evoh awkward. Evoh did not play for the demo there. He might have had an opportunity to do so, but he gets the ball in the back corner anyway, and now ceiling recovery is looking good. Can he get this past Diaz? Oh, he can, in spectacular fashion.
I'm sorry, from Diaz's point of view, it looks like Evoh's overshot this. He's so far below the ball that Diaz thinks, this is brilliant. He's lost the ball, I can challenge. And Evoh just gets himself back over to it, parachutes to the ball. And he's got this lead back down to 2.
Had some crazy goals in Game 7 already by both players. Diaz thought about going for the immediate shot, settles for the boost steal instead. He's got a great position though. Wide open net. Evoh overcommitted. But he had to go for something here. Diaz was cooking him up with the boost advantage.
And not only has Diaz got the boost advantage here, but in this game, he's got a massive kickoff advantage. All of these are going back corner, but Diaz knows it, and Diaz is playing from it.
Evoh's got to switch his kickoff up. He is starting to lose them again. I think it would be good for him to try just something a little bit different. Anything kind of spanner in the works to throw at the Diaz machine, which is fully functioning now. Diaz with another flip reset. Lucky that he got a follow-through bump there, but what a shot by Evoh. Look at the power from distance.
Yeah, Firstkiller will be proud about that one. We saw him just absolutely smack it from his own side of the field earlier on. That was not too bad either.
Just insane that both players can produce this kind of level in the Grand Final Game 7. Like you mentioned earlier, the first one in NA Salt Mine history. First time we've gone to Game 6 in NA Salt Mine history. Now Evoh's missed a flick. He was trying to lob that over the top of Diaz, who takes control. Evoh able to cross no man's land and keep the pressure on. He's just trying to bait Diaz into panicking, but Diaz keeps his cool.
Oh, Diaz might actually have some space to work with here. Evoh's immediately gone. Realized the danger that he would have been in. But it's just wild, the level these two players have come to. Oh, that's an immediate turn! That was lightning fast from Evoh.
This is where you need to be aggressive against Diaz. Evoh refuses to back down. Shuts down the air dribble in one corner. Crosses the box and simply scores before Diaz can take control again. 1 goal game. Evoh is the one who is starting to claw back. It's 2 for Evoh, 1 for Diaz. Now 2 for Evoh again, if I remember correctly. Feels like he's starting to regain control. That's almost another opportunity on net, but Diaz is stealing all the boost away. Gets the ball way high over Evoh's head, but he doesn't know how much or how little boost Evoh's got.
Diaz just doesn't want to get demoed. Takes the 100 boost as his main priority. And that would have been very funny if we looked back and that was on net.
That's a crazy touch, and he also avoided the demo, to be fair, but look at the pressure Evoh's putting on him. So many early challenges.
Evoh, will he try and aim for that car? No, he won't. That corner yet again. 1 goal, still the difference for the first time in a long time. Both players are back into a long scrap. We seem to be trading goals back and forth. Evoh's up. Is he going to get the car? Diaz went high yet again.
What a save by Diaz. How did he get over Evoh and still keep control of the ball? He had so much momentum away from it, but he got just enough of a touch. Now Evoh continues to pressure the back corner, even at a boost deficit. Diaz lining up a flick here from distance. He decided not to commit on it. The ball didn't sit pretty on his car. Wave dash shot denied by Evoh as well.
In a series where that lead has been so difficult to hold. Evoh, he's got the challenge. Diaz going back corner yet again. Good old faithful. And as the moment he doesn't see Evoh, he immediately plays the ball. That fear is just always there. Oh my goodness, is that in? It is!
It is. Oh my goodness, did we get ads? We got ads. I'm going to pause. I'm going to pause on this goal. This is unconventional. We're going to do it because I don't know how ads are even here. This is my bad. This is my bad. On me. Hey. Yeah, sorry about that, everybody. But okay, we are unpausing. Unpausing. I'm going to give them the full notification. Okay. And we're back.
If we get a kickoff goal here, Johnny. If we get a kickoff goal.
Guys, yeah, I'm sorry about that. I didn't have any notification that was coming, but I believe you guys, if you've all baited me into pausing the game for a minute, then I'll never forgive you. Because I didn't actually see anything that would indicate ads are happening, but I believe you. So here we are. 2 goals for Evoh. He needs to get a goal very soon, or Diaz is going to win and be the first South American Salt Mine champion.
He's not really got much boost to work with. It's not got the angle, and those bumps on Diaz are doing nothing at all.
This is it. He needs to do something with this attack.
He's going to have to do it from the most Diaz of all positions as well.
Oh, he had a half chance. Diaz crept forward, but the wall shot is nowhere near. Diaz is on the ball now. Evoh has to full send it. This is it. He has to just go for this ball and hope Diaz has not gone for it, but it's up in the air. That might be it, ladies and gentlemen. Diaz, the winner of Salt Mine 4 North America and the first South American champion. GG's is called. What a match. First Game 7 in NA Salt Mine history. It truly did deliver.
And both the players were just phenomenal throughout this entire series, but congratulations to Diaz. 1 year on, a significantly more well-rounded player, and he is going to be a difficult champion to dislodge. If he's improving at this rate, Diaz is not the complete package just yet.
What if somebody's just like watching and said, guys, let's all go to Johnny's chat and say ads? But luckily we got a goal immediately, said it's positive. I wasn't sure though. My Twitch dashboard did not give me any hints there, so I was just trusting you guys. If you got me, you got me. But I think it probably was true. I'm just gonna need to take a 1 minute break after game like 5 and 6. I think we're just gonna need to take a run of 1 minute of ad or something. Make sure that doesn't happen again. But wow, what a match!
I just love how somebody on the YouTube highlights is now looking at like how much longer the match was going. And it's like the overtime. Oh my god, he made the comeback. There was a massive overtime. How did this match go so long?
Yeah, I think that'll probably be edited out for YouTube. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we'll just leave it in, leaving the confusion. But it'll be even more confusing because Twitch chat's not on screen for the video. So
it's just us, whatever we were saying.
Rigged by Johnny. Hey, listen, if Evoh came back, if Evoh got a kickoff goal there and then just won the match, I would be very afraid of going to South America ever again in my life because it would be it would probably be dangerous for me. Everybody would be saying I rigged it in Evo's favor, but yeah, Diaz is able to hold on. Really well played. And hopefully you've enjoyed Salt Mine 4 NA. We've got EU next week. And hopefully more Game 7s. Congrats to Diaz. Thanks to Shogun for joining me. Thanks to Epic for putting out the prize money. And thanks to everybody behind the scenes for making this possible. Thank you to all of you guys for watching and for signing up. Hopefully you've enjoyed the content that we're going to try and keep putting out in the off-season. Because somebody's got to do it.